A slime in a world of monarchs, Tensura X solo leveling by Void King. Really? That's great news. Thank you, President. The golden-eyed boy had a chat with Go Gun-hee on his cell phone. He was giving him the news that his request was accepted. He ended the call when he heard Kanae's car horn, indicating that she had already arrived. Are you going out? Song Yi asked, seeing Rimuru well-groomed. Isn't that Kanae's Koenigsegg? That's right, we'll go to a dealership and she'll help me choose a good car. She put on a little perfume. How I look? You look great, casual clothes look great on you. Thanks, I'll be back in the afternoon, and if you're going out, send me a message, he said, leaving the house. I left you cookies and chocolate in the kitchen. He walked to the vehicle, opened the door and took a seat next to Kanae. She took a few seconds to look at him. She was wearing long, tight black pants, a dark purple shirt that she matches with her pink jacket, and black boots. You look like his real father. Kanae gave him a smile. Hello. Good morning. Did you wait long? A little. I hate being made to wait, but I'll let you pass. She began to drive. I don't know much about Korea, so we'll go to a super sports car dealership I found on the internet. My knowledge about vehicles is minimal, so don't worry. The only thing that matters to me is the design. That's not the only important thing. That's why I'll recommend which one to buy. During the journey they chatted about trivial things, some facts from the past and the occasional comment on the other, but nothing related to work. They were on their day off after all. They entered the uptown of Seoul, so to speak. It was the place where people with a lot of money lived and met. I'll park here and we'll walk a couple of blocks, Kanae warned, turning off her car. The air feels different, Rimuru thought as he got out of the vehicle. It didn't take long for them to draw the attention of the people around them. Some came to ask for photos and autographs, while others looked at them strangely because of their clothing. No one would dare to say that they looked bad. In fact, they were amazed at how good they looked in casual clothes, but it was not customary for that style of clothing to be worn in that area. So Song Yi's parents want her to come home now that she's an S-rank hunter after how badly they treated and rejected her. Kanae had really gotten upset. There are people who have no shame. They do not deserve to be parents. I think the same. That's why she prefers to stay with me and I take care of her and pamper her. Although she may not seem like it, she is only 17 years old and she needs to be guided in a good way. I wish you had been there when I was a child, Kanae said, remembering how bad she had it as a child. It's here, let's go in. Rimuru noticed the sad tone with which she said the above. He should ask Seal to show him Kanae's past. Although that would be difficult since the Manas hadn't spoken to him or responded since he accepted the date with the black-haired woman. Upon entering they were received by an employee dressed in a suit and tie, who guided them around the place, showing them the vehicles and telling them their characteristics. Rimuru translated to Kanae what the boy told her. She still hadn't learned the Korean language. They are all very updated and with similar characteristics. The only thing I see wrong is that there is no Hennessy Venom F5 version 8. Kanae muttered, looking at the latest cars in the store. You can choose the one you want. Anyone will be a good choice. In that case I'll choose that one. Rimuru pointed to one of the cars. Lotus Avaya, made in the UK. There are only 130 of them in the world. The clerk smiled. You have good taste, sir. They were guided to one of the local offices to proceed with the payment. Once everything went smoothly, they received an invitation to the auction that would take place that same night. At the auction will be the Hennessy Venom F5 V8 that the lady is interested in, said the employee to bow and leave. Do you want us to attend the auction? Rimuru asked, seeing the emotion on Kanae's face. Yes, I definitely want to go, she answered without hesitation. All right, let's go visit other places while we wait for the night to come. He opened the door of his new car for Kanae to get in. Go ahead, Miss Tawada. Thank you very much, Mr. Tempest. They both laughed and Rimuru got up to drive his new acquisition. A day full of fun awaited them. I searched the wiki and other pages about Kanae's age but didn't find anything, so in the story she will be 25 years old. I also didn't mention Rimuru's age. I forgot, he is 23 years old. Another thing, Kanae's past is not shown in the manhwa and neither is it in the wiki, so I'll make one up for her story. Now yes, the chapter, _ At a school in Seoul. Some friends skipped classes and walked around the school to waste time. Between jokes and laughter they found a room that nobody used. "There's a portal," one of the boys said in surprise. "This is great." Another leaned in for a closer look. "Wait, didn't you say this room was never used?" "That's what I said, what's?" A monster hand grabbed the boy's head and pulled him into the portal. Several orcs started to come out and killed the other two boys who were still in shock. On the other hand, Rimuru and Kanae were resting on a park bench. They had covered much of the place as they bided their time until the time of the auction. They visited various stores, buying some clothes and gifts for their friends, especially Rimuru. "This is pretty awkward," Kanae muttered, taking a bite of her ice cream. A large number of people surrounded them and took photos as they tried to enjoy their cold dessert. "New rumors about us are going to emerge," Rimuru said, remembering when Park Hee uploaded the photo of them sleeping together. "Doesn't that bother you?" "It bothers me that they're involved in my life. I don't dislike being seen with you or those rumors." Kanae sighed. "Maybe we should end the date here. I don't think we can be calm." "Do you want to go to my house?" Rimuru asked and instantly realized what he proposed. "Don't get me wrong. I say this to spend time together and not end the date. I have no other intentions." Kanae gave a small laugh at Rimuru's blush and nervousness. She knew he had no other intentions. "Okay. We can have lunch at your place and then watch movies." Kanae stood up and walked to her car. "The last one to arrive cooks." Rimuru smiled and hurriedly got into his car to follow Kanae. Dodging vehicles and accelerating at high speed, they soon reached Rimuru's house. They would definitely receive some tickets for speeding and not respecting traffic lights. "How unfair, I started later," Rimuru complained, chopping onions. "You have to be smart." Kanae walked over and washed her hands. "I'll help you, so stop complaining." Between the two they cooked while chatting happily. The result was delicious noodles with sauce and meat. All that remained was to remove the water from the pasta. "You have something there." "Where?" "Here." Rimuru dabbed some sauce on her cheek. "And you in your hair." Kanae threw a noodle at his head. They started a little game of throwing food. Everything was laughter for them. Song Yi came down from her room to see if the food was ready and came across this scene. Both of them were distracted. "This will drive people crazy," Song Yi said, drawing the attention of Rimuru and Kanae covered in sauce and noodles, and Park Hee who ships them. Noticing that she was recording them, they jumped on her to prevent her from uploading the video, but it was too late. The video of them playing covered in sauce and noodles was already on the internet. "Don't be mad, they look cute," Song Yi said and poured food onto his plate. "They should make it official." Kanae didn't quite understand what Song Yi was saying, but she interpreted it. She went to the bathroom to wash up and so they wouldn't see the big blush on her cheeks. A month without a cell phone or going out, Rimuru punished Song Yi. Lunch passed in silence due to the awkwardness between Rimuru and Kanae. When Song Yi finished eating, she went up to his room and left them alone. "I'm sorry about Song Yi. He likes to tease me." Rimuru sat next to Kanae on the sofa. "Are you angry?" "No, I got nervous," she admitted with a bit of embarrassment. "It doesn't bother me that Song Yi or people think we're dating. I feel comfortable and happy with you, but I feel like it's going too fast." "Do you want to talk about it?" Rimuru opened his arms and Kanae hugged him. "I'm not going to pressure you or anything. I think it's very obvious that I have a little crush on you." "I have it too. It's the first time it's happened to me and I think we should get to know each other better." Her eyes met Rimuru's golden eyes. "I want to know about you and for you to know about me before being something formal. I wouldn't want everything to go to waste because we don't understand each other." "That's perfect. Do you want me to tell you something about myself?" Rimuru smiled without letting go of the black-haired woman. "I like a girl called Kanae. She have long hair, crimson eyes and she hugged me." "You're an idiot," Kanae said, laughing. "I like a boy with light blue hair, golden eyes, a little silly, who is called Rimuru and who care about me." "How a little silly?" "Yeah, pretty silly." A comfortable silence formed and their eyes looked at each other tenderly. The distance between their faces was very short and was becoming more and more scarce. "Rimuru." Song Yi ran down with her katana in hand. "Jin-ah called me. She says that a dungeon has opened in the school and the orcs are killing everyone." "Tell her we're on our way." Rimuru stood up next to Kanae. "Do you have your katanas?" "They're in my car, come on." Kanae left in her car while Song Yi went with Rimuru. "Hold on, Jin-ah," Rimuru asked. Now that Sung was unconscious, he had to protect her. Clear the area, we'll take care of it, Kanae warned and pushed the police back. I'll take care of this place, you guys go inside. Wasting no time, Rimuru and Song Yi entered the school. Bloodstains decorated the ceiling, walls, and floor. It's a horrible scene. Everyone follow me, I'll protect you, Song Yi shouted, leading the students she found and headed to the exit. Rimuru was running desperately all over the place. He didn't feel Jin A's presence, and that gave him a very bad feeling. Every orc that got in his way was cut down in an instant. He had no time to waste on monsters. He entered the room where there were more monsters. They were mercilessly killing the students. And to one side of them, Jin A's lifeless body. Her arm had been ripped off and beaten to death. Due to Rimuru's fury, he did not control himself and let out his aura. A strong pressure was felt throughout the country, and the glass of the entire building was broken. The orcs looked at him in terror. Who are you? Asked the leader of the orcs while trembling. You are not human. A dry thud was heard, and then there was only silence. The orc leader's head was on the floor and his body was cut into 1,000 pieces. Get behind me, Rimuru ordered with dark eyes. All the students did not hesitate and ran to position themselves behind him. No orcs had attempted to attack, they were just standing there shaking in fear. He extended his arm towards the orcs and whispered, Beelzebub, to activate his ability. All the monsters were absorbed and much of the hall was destroyed. He took Jin A's body in his arms and walked to the exit, followed by the students. As they left, they were greeted by their families who cried, some happy that their son-daughter survived and others sad that their son or daughter did not have the same luck. The reporters' cameras focused on Rimuru and the girl in his arms. He was motionless as a tear fell down his cheek and was hidden by the raindrops. Memories of Jin A in the guild came to his mind, when she joked around, helped him with cleaning, trivial things, etc. She was a good girl, he murmured looking up at the dark sky. Less than with the current strength of the master it is possible to revive a person greater than. Rimuru was surprised at Ciel's words were great. Was she telling him that he could revive Jin A? Greater than, are you serious? Do I have the strength to revive people? Less than? Less than the master can only revive one person. Greater than, Ciel repeated. Less than Jin A's soul is about to disappear. I recommend doing it quickly. Greater than. You don't know how much I appreciate it, Ciel. Less than. Rimuru placed Jin A's body on a stretcher on the ground and spread his hands over her, releasing a green light from his palms. Rimuru. Song Yi left crying when she saw Jin A. Kanae said, approaching the light blue, who remained silent. Rimuru. She noticed how Jin A's missing arm began to regenerate, just as the injured parts were healing. All the people watched him attentively, just like the cameras broadcast him live on television. Jin A's body was completely healed but still motionless. I command you, come back to life. There were a few seconds where you could only hear how the rain fell and then, an agitated breath. She is alive. Jin A opened her eyes and was met by Rimuru, who was soon hugging her. What happened? Jin A asked without understanding anything. Everything's fine now. Sorry, I'm late, Rimuru apologized even though it wasn't his fault. This is amazing, Kanae said, seeing Jin A alive, and helped Rimuru to stand up. What's wrong? Nothing serious, I'm just tired. People began to scream and implore him to do the same to the other murdered students, but that was not possible. Take me home, Rimuru requested. I will not bear more. He fell unconscious due to all the power he used in reviving Jin A. It would take a while for him to wake up. Kanae did what Rimuru asked and took him home to rest. Together with Song Yi, they took care of the blue-haired boy. President Go Gun Hee deployed a large number of hunters outside the house so that no one would come to bother Rimuru. In this way, he also prevented people from other countries from approaching the Pelachest. Tien. Sorry, I don't actually know what Pelachest is, so I just left it as that. If before he was coveted by many countries for clearing an S-rank dungeon by himself, now that he revived someone, in the eyes of the world he was considered the most valuable of all hunters. The next day Sung Jin Woo woke up and the first thing he saw was Cha Hei's surprised and happy look. How long was I gone? He asked as soon as he woke up. 3 full days, Cha Hei replied. 3 days? So the portal in Japan must have opened. Did that guy hold it back? Yuri Orslov failed. Japan is being destroyed by the monsters coming out of the dungeon. I understand, I know you just woke up, but you should know this. Cha-hei searched for a way to say it without confusing Jin Woo. Many things have happened these days. I will explain them to you. I owe you a lot, Jin Woo whispered as he watched Rimuru, who was resting after he used his strength in reviving Jin Ah. Cha-hei had already explained to him what happened while he was unconscious. She told about the dungeon in Japan that was open and how the country was being destroyed by giants. She also told about the rule exception Rimuru got from the association and how he brought Jin Ah back to life in an event a few days ago. He's going to be fine, right? Song Yi asked, she worried about her teacher. He needs time to rest, just like when he cleared the S-rank portal that appeared in Seoul, Kanae said while using her cell phone's translator and motioned for them to be quiet and follow her to the living room. Sung Jin Woo, Cha-hei In, Song Yi, Park Hee, and Jin Ho went with her to the living room, while Jin Ah changed the wet cloth on Rimuru's forehead. When everyone left, Song Yi's katana that was next to Rimuru's bed started to floating and a black-haired girl came out from it and started to approach Jin Ah. Who are you? Jin Ah stepped in front of Rimuru and tried to protect him. Get away. My name is Shizu. Shizu didn't move her mouth, but Jin Ah heard her voice in her head. You have the power to help Rimuru and everyone. What are you talking about? Jin Ah asks. I'm sure you feel it inside you, right? Your power, you just need to. Shizu then walked over to Jin Ah and touched her forehead with her finger. Release it. As her finger made contact with Jin Ah's forehead, a bright light came out from Jin Ah and illuminated the room for a few seconds. Jin Ah felt the magical energy begin to circulate through her body and a strong desire to sleep suddenly invaded her, causing her to fall to the ground. Shizu scooped her up and laid her down next to Rimuru. She smiled as she watched Rimuru sleeping, and returned to the katana as if nothing had happened. In the living room. Once everyone in the living room, Kanae used the translator to talk about Rimuru's plans to help Japan in case they couldn't contain the portal, which they did. Rimuru planned to travel to Japan with all the hunters from the Ajin Guild except for Cha-hei, who would take care of Sung, who was in the hospital at the time. Now that Sung was fine and Rimuru is unconscious, the plan had to change. I would like to be the one to take care of Rimuru, but I need to go to Japan as soon as possible to help, Kanae said, looking at Jin Woo, who was in charge of making decisions. Do you have something in mind? I'm not going to stop you from helping your country, the Jin Woo replied. We'll follow Rimuru's original plan, and we'll split up into the cities to eliminate the giants. I'll take care of the one who is guarding the portal and the boss instead of Rimuru. But someone has to take care of Rimuru, Park Hee reminded them. Who will do it? I'll take care of teacher. I won't let anything get close him, said the smiling Jin Ho. No, I'll take care of him. Song Yi didn't want to leave her master until he was sure he was okay. Whether it's Song Yi or Jin Ho, this will slow down the speed at which we clear the dungeon, Cha-hei interrupted. After all, no one has Rimuru's strength and skill. I trust that my shadows will reduce the number difference, but we still can't afford to leave anyone. Sung knew that if they wanted to minimize the damage they should all go, but he couldn't leave Rimuru unprotected and his shadows were necessary for the dungeon. I'll talk to Go Gun Hee and ask him to take care of Rimuru in our absence, Jin Woo said. It's not a bad idea, he's the strongest in the country outside of our guild. Kanae agreed with Sung's decision. Then it's decided. Jin Woo stood up and activated exchange. We'll leave tonight, get ready. He exchanged places with the shadow he assigned to the president of the association to inform him of what they would do and the need for his presence, as well as that he would request a plane for themselves. Rimuru just woke up and the first thing he saw was Jin Ah, who was changing the cold cloth that is on his forehead. How do you feel? Are you all right? Should I call someone? Jin Ah asked worriedly. Rimuru just shook his head and closed his eyes, and asks in his mind, why the hell did Jin Ah have magical energy? Seal, what happened to her? Seal. Damn it, Seal. I hate it when you get like that. Tell me, what do you want me to do? After he said that, the world stopped completely and Seal dragged Rimuru into the imaginary space where there was nothing but darkness and just the two of them. I only ask that you pay me more attention. Whenever you find a girl, you always forget about me for a while. That's not true, besides I've never been with so many girls. Chloe, Shuna, Shion, Luminous, Hinata, Kumara, Testarossa, Carrera, Ultima, Shiraori, Karinina, Azusa. Okay. I accept that I have many wives, he interrupted her. He knew that Seal was not going to stop until she named each woman he had been with or married. Only that? Seal crossed her arms under her chest. And yes, I have neglected you. You never give me time to ask you out or do something together. I don't want this to sound like an excuse, but whenever we have a moment alone all you do is throw yourself at me and we end up having wild sex. But you like it, of course I like it, you are the most beautiful person of all. Ciel's frown expression had softened and she let out a smile. Rimuru just sighed with a slight blush on his cheeks. I'm sorry I didn't give you the attention you deserve as my first wife and most faithful companion. Me too, I shouldn't have behaved that way. She approached Rimuru, and the two was standing face to face. I am sorry. She gave Rimuru a small kiss on the lips, followed by another one a little longer, then another one, and another, until reaching a deep kiss. I'll make it up to you. Rimuru said, ending the kiss. We'll have a date. He held Ciel's hand, who looked at him smiling, and opened a portal in front of them. What happens in the quote I'll write in an episode called Extra. Maybe I'll post it after the end or between chapters. A portal opened over the sky of Japan. From there Rimuru came out. He watched the destruction that the giants were causing. He thought that he should get to work. Do it, Ciel? Yes, master. Ciel turned the world back on course. Tempest sword in hand, Rimuru launched himself at two giants below him. He easily dodged the blows thrown at him, and with 2 slashes he finished them off. It's not difficult at all. This won't take me long. There are about 30 left in all of Japan. The other members of the guild have exterminated 32 giants in total. That means that if I hurry I can match them. That's fine with me. He sprinted across Japan, from city to city, all to finish as fast as possible and show off a bit. The news that he was there cleaning the dungeons soon came out on TV, and therefore, his guildmates knew about it. Rimuru ignored the cameras and continued his massacre of the giants. He was cleaning city by city until he reached Shinjuku, where the portal was guarded by the largest and most powerful of the giants. You're late, he said to Sung Jin Woo, who was behind his back. Rimuru was still looking at the largest of the giants. Maybe, the dark-haired man answered, standing next to Rimuru and also looking at the monster. Are you okay? Better than ever. Rimuru replied with a smile and made his Tempest sword appear. I'll take care of this. You go for the boss. Understood. Jin Woo walked towards the front and stopped for a second without turning around. Thank you for saving my sister. I don't know what would have happened to me if she died. Don't worry. Jin Ah is my friend after all. He lunged at the monster and their weapons collided, creating a large cloud of dust. Now go.